Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here with another Master Duel video for you. So today we have yet another one of our viewer specials. This will be the 23rd one, if I recall correctly, number 23. So that means in the next one, number 24, if we're doing, one viewer special per week over 4 weeks each, that'll be 6 months now of viewer specials. Wow, that's it's been going on longer than I realized. It's been a while, at least this time, since I've commented on just exactly how long we've been doing this series, but I'm really glad that we've been able to keep it going. Huge shout out to everyone who is submitting games. Of course, the series would not be possible without you. If this is your first viewer special, then welcome. This is my personal favorite series on the channel because we get to feature games not just from me, but from you all, the viewers. And the way that it works is you can all submit your games either on my Twitter, which you can find a link to in the description below. I've got a pinned tweet on my profile there where you can submit those games. I like to keep them in that thread because it's just one nice spot for me to find them all. If you don't have a Twitter, that's totally fine. Feel free to leave that information in the comments below. As far as what information I'm looking for you to submit, I'm looking for mainly your 9-digit player ID, as seen right here. You're also obviously going to want to have the replays saved to that profile that you want me to see, and then make sure they're saved publicly as well. If they're not saved publicly, then I'm not able to view them, and then of course then I can't feature them as well. It also helps when leaving those details if you want to throw in just a little blurb about the game. It could be something as simple as like, I played this deck versus this deck, but if you want to throw just a little, like, sentence about how the game went, or just a little fun detail about it, that can be very helpful as well, just to give me a better idea of what you'd like me to focus on when taking a look at your replay. There's a lot of reasons I really like doing this series that I always talk about because I don't know, I'm really eager, always really eager to do this series. One, I think it's really important to watch games from more than one person. I think that's the best way to learn, and I really like, number two, I really like the learning aspect that we've got going on with this channel, right? I'm often, not often, even just always, really open and encouraging to comments that are commenting about how, possible deck building and gameplay improvements can be made in my videos, because I'm always looking to improve. And honestly, the only reason I think I'm able to do as well as I do in Master Duel is because of the support that I have from you all. So yeah, I think it's best to learn in a sort of community-based setting, as opposed to just having one person instructing everyone else. I've never really been into that learning style. I think peers educating peers is really what it's all about, and I think that's really a nice thing that we have going on in this channel as well. So I'm just very grateful all around for that. So yeah, I have picked out some games from the, again, both the Twitter and the YouTube comments there. If your games don't get featured, don't feel discouraged. It's not, I promise, it's not because I don't like you or something. No, it's just, I can obviously only feature so many games per week. So, feel free to keep submitting more games. There's no limit to how many you can submit. Don't spam the same game over and over again. That's, a surefire way not to get featured, but definitely feel free to keep submitting games. There's definitely no limit. And even the ones that I don't feature, I watch pretty much all of them at some point. So, especially if it's a deck that I'm interested in, or a deck that I am looking to get better at myself. I just like watching. Again, I think it's important to watch as many people play as possible. So plus, there was at one point where I was like, oh, I could do a dual live series where I watch dual live games, but then I thought no, why would I watch some randos games when I could watch your guys' games? I think that's a lot more just a lot more meaningful in that regard. So yeah, like I said, I've got a few games picked out, so let's go ahead and take a look at them. Okay, so the first duel of this week's viewer special is going to come to us from Mr. X. Mr. X has a replay where they were playing Salamangreat versus Eldlich. They talk about playing through some of the floodgates there. So I think I have a couple of games here actually that are going to feature us bullying Eldlich. I've themed at least one viewer special after that. So, we all like seeing games where we can overcome the sun decks. Alright, let's see what we're taking a look at here. Okay, so they've got the first turn. This is rough knowing that we're already playing against Eldlich. Against any other deck, oh my god, that's so disgusting. Against any other deck, going second, this is a fantastic hand, but it's oh, of course, they just set 4 background pass. And this Parallel Exceed is not exactly the best draw in the world either. At least the Ash Blossom is useful here against the Scarlet Sanguine. I've said it a million times before, but with Eldlich in particular, oh, and you know what, Rivalry and Goes don't really do a whole lot to us. Yeah, I was just gonna say, right, because we're all Fire Cybers, huh? That's cool. I mean, these Parallel Exceeds aren't gonna really do anything, but at the very least, our opponent's Floodgates aren't gonna do much. And really, as I was about to say, even if your opponent has live floodgates up, wow, really, like 3 parallel exceeds on the top of, like, what is that? 2, 3, 4, like 8 cards? Jeez. Yeah, even if the opponent has floodgates up, it's not often if they don't have the Eldlich that they're able to really stop you from, getting the chip damage in. The Heavy Storm Duster, what is this? Target up to 2, you cannot conduct. Huh, interesting. Alright. Well, I mean, that's... it is what it is. Like, honestly, this Eldlich player really just kind of... I don't know. I don't feel like they should have flipped everything that quickly. I'm not saying the Heavy Storm Duster, or the Heavy Storm Duster was incorrect there, but flipping up the Rivalry and Gozen like that when you know you're playing against Salamangreats, like... I don't know. I don't think that's correct. I think it's better to leave them face down and kind of leave the opponent, at least one of them face down, and leave the opponent kind of wondering. I'd probably flip up Gozen here because most of the extra deck that's even not Salamangreat stuff is still fire. But, obviously if they try to go for like update chamber access code, they can't really do that if you've got a Gozen up. So I think flipping the Gozen up but leaving the Rivalry down is probably the right call here. But there's still not a whole lot we can do because we've got the Max C, the Nibiru, and 2 parallel exceeds. And the third one is up there too. They do have the Huaquero and then another card to follow up with. So hopefully that's not just another Scarlet Sanguine. Although once they resolve this Huaquero, yeah, they're going to be able to eventually get the Scarlet Sanguine during this turn's end phase. So they're going to have access to the Golden Lord by their next turn if they don't already have access to it this turn. Getting off the Max C for the draw is very nice here as well. Okay, now that we've got some plays with the Jack Jaguar, and then, yeah, the Sunlight Wolf. I wonder if we're playing, we are playing Heat Soul in the extra deck, or Heat Leo. This is actually really, really good in this matchup, isn't it? Especially because it shuffles it back and doesn't even, okay, yeah, we do go for the Heat Leo here. Because it shuffles it back and it doesn't even, like, put it in the graveyard. I mean, against Eldlich, it can be particularly relevant. What else does this have a quick effect? I'm trying to remember. No, it doesn't. Once returned during a May phase, link someone using... Oh, Heat Leo is a material. Gotcha. With the Sanctuary. Yep. Okay, so yeah, there's a Sanguine there. We actually got another Ash Blossom, so that's pretty nice, though. So we're still... This is, again, what I was talking about. If the Eldlich can't get the Golden Lord out, then yeah, they'll keep you down at the Floodgates, but they're not able to actually, like, progress the board state themselves. So... as long as we can suppress that, then, we're looking pretty good here. And we are, in fact, looking very good here. These new back rows, the face downs are a little bit scary. This is what I was talking about earlier with the Rivalry, when I was saying that should have been kept face down, because it would have been scarier, right? Like, obviously, fear of the unknown is, like, the greatest fear of all, and in that regard, these face down back rows are much more intimidating than the face up Rivalry was, especially because, again, we're playing Salamangreat, so everything is going to be Cybers anyway. Even the non-Salamangreat stuff in the extra deck is going to be Cybers as well, so... Okay, leaving our opponent at 600 here. Yeah, I don't think we're able to get much more damage out, but we've got exactly one draw here to try to find something. A Golden Lord would have to be what it is, in order to make sure they don't just die. They've got this Conquistador, sure, but again, that alone is not going to be enough here. They do have the Scarlet Sanguine. That is a bit rough, because, yeah, I was going to say, that one is going to resolve here. Yeah, even with the attack boost, it just puts the Heat Leo up to 2800 attack, but... and then the Conquistador is live, too, now. Oof. Yeah, see, this is... Again, the tide shifted exactly when the opponent got the Eldlich out, so it just cannot overstate how important that is to this deck. Okay, well, looks like we have, like, more than enough materials right now. The Mirage Stallion, I'm just trying to think, like, what else can we go for? Another Sunlight Wolf. Oh, wait, does this have a bounce effect? I actually totally missed what that bounce effect was. Oh, it was the Mirage Stallion. Okay. Oh, of course. When you use it as sleep material, it bounces. Okay. So yeah, we were able to again bounce the Eldlich off the board. What's funny how it all keeps coming back to that, right? But yeah, definitely a great game there. Again, playing through those floodgates there, and again, it's good that we. It's funny that the Salamangreats actually end up having an almost better Eldlich matchup in that regard because Rivalry and Gozen are kind of like the go-to floodgates that they often use, and you can play so well underneath those. Yeah, that's just interesting. I never would have thought about the matchup being that good. Again, had we not seen this game, one of the many reasons I love the viewer special here. So thank you very, very much for that submission, Mr. X. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next game. Alright, this next duel is going to come to us from X Hostile. X Hostile has a game also playing against Eldlich, and they're playing at Ignister. It's funny, Salamangreats and at Ignister are, you know, 2 of the 10 decks that I have built right now that I meant to get to, so looks like you all kind of beat me to the punch in that regard. But yeah, so this game in particular, I think you mentioned that you showed off the 4,000 Arrival Cybers plus Heat Soul combo. So yeah, this is going to be our first little peek at that. I do still plan to come back to adding Nister at some point during this season and, you know, show off that combo myself as well, but I definitely don't mind letting one of you all step in and show us how it's done here. So yeah, we've got the Achichi to start with. This game's actually looking really good. We've got the Brewer and the Doyon already, as long as the I Meet You. As long as we can get this island off, then we pretty much just have free reign to do like whatever we want. I mean, that would have been the case with just the Achichi anyway, just due to the nature of how Ignister has 1-card combos. But, like, yeah, now we don't have to search, like, the I Meet You. We don't have to worry about searching the Doyon or the Bururu. I was going to say, we don't even have to go for the Wicked, but it's probably still right to go for the Wicked, honestly, just because we're not really going to use it for anything else other than, like, combo material at this point anyway, so... Alright, stepping into the transcode here. I think the combo for Arrival Cybers plus Heat Soul, from what I remember doing in my research, is like fairly similar to your main combo anyway. Like, there's not too much different to it. You just kind of like pivot into the Heat Soul at the end. So, looks like this is the Dark Templar, yep. Okay, Dark Templar is going to come down, of course, in the right zone because we need to put the Dark Infant on the far, or in the middle zone, and then bump it over to the left, changing it to Divine, and then we can summon 3 monsters to the Dark Templar's 3 zones. And we still have the I Meet You and the Reborn as well, the Idol Reborn. Okay, here's the Arrival Cybers, right? Yep, because it's going to have 4,000 attack. The Idol Reborn for the Doyon. Oh, and then like those for the Splash Mage? Okay, I got it. And then we can go into the Heat Soul from there, right? I'm trying to remember what Heat Soul's material requirements. Yeah, okay, it's 2 Cybers with different attributes. So yeah, see, that's simple enough. It's really just you have the 4,000, you kind of have the 4,000 standard combo and then like 1 more extender. Really, it seems like is all you need there. Yeah, okay, so... like, simple enough to grasp, but very, very powerful all the same. Like, just paying 1,000 and getting a draw each turn is so worth, so good. Oh, the Joel and Lockburn. Yeah, I've been meaning to include that actually in more of my decks, because I think that's actually a pretty good card this format. There's a lot of searching going on, I've noticed, and I don't know, there's been a couple of times, like, playing various decks where I've just been hit by the Joel and Lockburn, and I've definitely felt that sting there. Also, what is this Jacobelon? I think I've run into this card once before. Also, I was going to say appropriately themed, but no, Halloween was definitely a little while ago, wasn't it? Let's see here. Discard a zombie specialist from your hand during your opponent's main phase. You can target a zombie with your special summon it, but banish it release the field. Oh, then banish this. Oh, yeah, but banish it release the field, then banish this to the end phase. Got it. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think I've run into this card against, or in Eldlich, like one time a while ago, but it's definitely, like I said, it's been a while. Huh, I wonder, what does Eldlich do against a 4,000 attack Arrival Cybers, besides, like, cry? I don't know that there's a whole lot else Eldlich can really do, right? Like... Oh, that's a good use of the Achichi there. I was, like, trying to remember what that did. Yeah, it pops your own monster, but then that's, of course, going to force them to battle with only the stronger at Arrival there. Oh, and then, yep, setting up the, what's this one called? The Danmari, that's it, Danmari in the graveyard there. Yeah, I don't think aside from extra deck requirements, we don't really care about our monsters being turned into zombies, and, I mean, the extra requirement thing is, you know, definitely a bit rough, but at the same time, you know, we already have the Arrival Cybers out, and if we wanted to go into access code, that doesn't particularly require Cybers monsters, so that's fine too. Although I wonder if we can, like, link climb into anything else. Okay, the transcode only takes 2 effect monsters, so we can link climb to that, so we could still make a 5,300 attack Arrival Cybers, or not Arrival Cybers, adding access code, that one. Oh, the Splash Mage. Oh, the zombie world is gone. Of course, because of the Wind Pegasus. Yeah, so it looks like we're in fact going for the, well, we were going to go for the access code to finish things off, but the opponent conceded before that. Well, their quote-unquote connection failed, so, yeah, thanks for showing that game off, Hostile. That was great. I love seeing that combo there. I'm glad that we got to see that premiered on the channel. And, yeah, just always nice to see these games against Eldlich here. We've got one more game to show off. Let's go straight into it. Okay, so I believe this is going to be the last duel for this viewer special. Is going to come to us from Kino Hara, who's got a game where they are playing. It's not against Eldlich this time. It's going to be Branded Despia versus Sword Soul, and you said it was, yeah, a 13-game kind of epic match. So I'm definitely eager to see this one here. Honestly, any game that reaches like double-digit turn count, you've piqued my interest. Let's just say that. Taking the second turn, opening with Ash and Nibiru is pretty great. So does the rest of this hand. This is a pretty solid going second hand here. I would definitely like to see it. Especially, you know, having the Ash Blossom against the incredible Ecclesia here. Oof, they got the call by. Yeah, I was going to say, the Ecclesia is kind of a bit of a dicier move going turn 1 as opposed to turn 2 because on turn 1 it's going to eat your normal summon. It'll leave you a little bit more susceptible to Ash Blossom than Sword Soul Tinny normally is. Now, obviously, if you've got the called by, that's not as much of an issue like our opponent Gigi has here, but in most cases, if you can avoid having to rely on Ecclesia to start your turn 1 plays, that's better. It's why a lot of decks, I think, run 2 Ecclesia instead of 3, because you don't really want it going first. It's more better going second. And again, it's usable going first, but not as good as opening just straight up like a Moye or something. Okay, looks like they're searching the long gun. We obviously know they've got the Vision, and they'll probably pitch here. Yep, there goes that. So they got 3 unknowns, but none of them are searched for, and we have the live Nibiru here, so that's obviously very good. Okay, they did end up having the Proto, so I was wondering if they were going to have much of a follow play. And the Desires. Wow, that's actually... Oof, and the Proto's calling Dark is obviously brutal here because we're playing Despia. Oh, right, we can't see what our... I was going to see, let's check out what our opponent banished, but of course they banish face down there, so... Now, we are still able to have some amount of plays here. I know that... Well, let's take a look at the extra deck, if you don't mind. Okay, we're already the Perskinian. That's pretty good. Not a bad card. The Koratus. Those are 2 extra deck monsters that you can utilize against the Sword Soul Tennies if you're playing Branded Despia. They call Dark against like this. Obviously, Rebellion is still light as well. I say obviously. I didn't know that. I didn't actually think it was Dark, but... yeah, okay, looks like we are indeed going for the Koratus here. It's too bad the Protoss is in defense mode. The Koratus can only drop attack points there, unfortunately. But I wonder if it looks like we are still able to make the Proskinian here. You know what? I wonder... No, because everything else is dark. I was going to say, I wonder if we could have sent the Koratus, gotten an Albaz, and activated the effect. But no, there's nothing we really could have fused for. So yeah, this is a very solid... this is showcasing a very solid out to the... what do you call it? The Protoss. A lot of people think that Protoss calling Dark against Branded Despia is just they're done, they can't do anything. But no, with the Koratus and the Perskinian, you do still have plays. That's why I think the Perskinian has been seeing an increase of play in the extra decks over time, is because people are realizing that, oh, you do need that counter to Protoss, because Sword Soul Tinny is going to be a very common matchup there. Okay, so they're going for Shaman, I'm assuming to try to revive Moye to try to get that effect off, but... Okay, looks like we end up stealing... Wow, they have another Desire. Stealing the Monk. Oh, they could have also, yeah, gotten the Monk back and then just, start destroying our stuff. But I think they... Oh, no, they're getting the Protoss. Wait, can they... Oh, must first be, so they can't actually special summon Protoss. Thank God we have this imperm. Huh, I never even... Have I even realized that? I think I always just assumed that Protoss could only be summoned by its own effect. Huh, I wonder if I've ever missed that situation. I wonder if I've ever missed an opportunity to bring Protoss back with the Shaman. See, you can end up learning as much from your opponents as you actually do from, watching your peers as well. That's one thing I like to look out and see what my opponent's doing if they're playing a deck that I'm also playing and being like, have I ever encountered that before? I like this edge imp attack. I've done this quite a few times when playing Branded Despia. It's good to set up your Patrick and then obviously your follow-up plays from there. Yeah, this Nibiru token is getting, obviously, a little bit annoying, only having 100 attack points more than our Perskinian. Setting the Patchwork is interesting there. It's a little bit risky, I think. It's pretty easy for the opponent to have, like, a Feather Duster or some, like, kind of inconsequential destruction they just so happen, like a blackout or something that might end up hitting the back row, I might have kept the Patchwork in hand. I don't think it's wrong to set it necessarily, but I don't know. That's probably just a preference thing, to be honest. So wait, did they max C? Interesting. Okay. Well, okay. We'll definitely take that. So yeah, again, it's just this, the Bureau token is standing in our way here, but it doesn't look like the opponent has any live plays at this point. Probably because those desires just cut down so much of their deck. I wonder, like, I wonder how many of their live cards are in their deck. That's kind of one of the reasons I didn't like desires in the deck, honestly, in Sword Sultani, because, you know, moving your options for, you know, combo starters is not super great. And Sword Sultani really only has so many that, I don't know, it's like, if you mill too many Moyes and or Tayas, you're kind of just like done at that point. I suspect after 2 desires, that's what's happened to our opponent here. Oh, I wonder if our Patchwork isn't live. That's probably why we're not using it, huh? Do we have 2 chains? Yeah, okay, so that's why we're not set. I wondered, I realized that, I was like, okay, I feel like we would have flipped it by this point, but no, because we're playing 2 Edge of Chains, so looks like they did eventually draw a tie. It looks like they had 1 left in their deck there for a Chi Shao. What, are they trying to search something? Do they know that something's left in their deck? Okay, no, they must have just wanted the monster to gate. It's not bad, actually, not a bad idea. Well, I don't know, is it? We've already got an Aliber on board. Well, I guess we still have a couple of Alibers. No, we have 1 Aliber left in the deck. 1 Albaz left in the deck. Oh, now we can search an Albaz. I'm just thinking, like, I wonder if our opponent could have gone for a better level 8 Synchro. I wonder if Baxia would have been better, or... Well, I guess I was going to say Baxia potentially into Chao Feng, but I guess stopping light doesn't really do a whole lot here, does it? Ooh, nice Royal Cross-Out Designator, by the way. It's very pretty. Oh, we can finally get rid of this token by making an Albion here. And then we're just going to try to go for, like, a Mirror Jade or something, looks like. Oh, a Rebellion. Let's see. Oh, well, I just got the concede anyway. Yeah, so definitely a nice game there. Thanks for showcasing that, Kinohara. It's definitely nice to see like these longer games, particularly when it's 2 meta decks duking it out. This is kind of like what I like to see in general when playing meta decks, is like these nice back and forths. I mean, obviously a lot of games don't end this way, but the ones that do are very, very solid. So thank you for showing one of those games for us today. Alright, I think that's about all the time we've got for this viewer special, so let's go ahead and move to the outro. Alright everybody, I want to thank all of you who watched all the way to the very end of the video. That means a lot to me. Also, as always in the viewer specials, I have to give a very special thank you to everyone who submitted games for review. Obviously, like I said before, the series could not be possible without you, and the fact that we've been doing it for like coming up on 6 months now is frankly incredible. I am just floored that we've managed to keep it going for this long, that everyone's just been watching and participating for this long. That really means a lot to me. It's really cool, I think, what we're doing here, and I would very much like to continue it in the future. Yeah, don't have any plans to stopping. So, yeah, I think it's about all the time that I've got for this video. So, without further ado, this is Xlex, signing out, and I hope you have a fantastic day.